NBA is back. Well, after All-Star break gets back, and we can't wait. But there's been a few things that have happened in the past few days before the second half of the season starts, and I want to go ahead and recap of what happened. First of all, we have Giannis saying this in this video. So let's watch.
I just, in general, do not watch basketball. So stats, highlights, how people play, I have no idea, and I love it, you know. I love it when I go to the game. I have no idea who I'm playing and what they do. I'm
calling cap. Hey, listen. If Giannis, if he's telling the truth here, Giannis, if you tell the truth here, you are the GOAT. You won an NBA championship without watching film? Finals MVP without watching film? I'm calling cap. Now, let's move on to JJ Redick. Has some beef right now with, some friendly beef with Patrick Beverley and Austin Rivers for this comment right here.
Side note real quick. No one's going to react to Doc's audio there. We've been 7 minutes since we showed that audio. Nobody's going to react to Doc's audio?
Do you want me to get it repeated for you?
You don't have to repeat it. We don't have to repeat it.
I can repeat
I've seen the trend now. I've seen the trend for years.
What's the trend?
The trend is always making excuses. Doc, we get it. Taking over a team in the middle of the season is hard. It's hard. We get it. Just like getting traded in the middle of the season is hard for a player. We get it. But it's always an excuse. It's always throwing your team under the bus. They lose to Memphis. Oh, it's his players' fault. Memphis was playing G League guys and two-way guys. And then you look at his quotes over the weekend. Now he wants to take credit for the James Harden trade to the Clippers working out. He wants credit for that. There's never accountability with that guy. There's never accountability.
Well, let me say.
So then Patrick Beverley goes to say this. This man, Doc, actually saved your career. Started you when no one else wanted to. And you retire and go on TV and say that. Okay. JJ Redick then says, Pat, my guy, I had a 4-year offer with a player option for the same amount of money to be a starter for a different team. F out of here, quote unquote, save my career. Now, the only thing with Patrick Beverley when he said this, I don't think he necessarily researched and brought some stats for that ass. But that's what we're here to do right after we read this right here. So Austin Rivers had this to say about JJ Redick in terms of, is that my dog ringing a bell?
First off, I don't feel responsible to take up for my dad. He's a grown man. He could do his own thing. But in this regard, I just simply don't agree with it. For someone who's not accountable, he seems to always be held responsible, considering he's the guy that's always fired when things don't go right. He got fired in the bubble for a 3-1 lead.
Oops.
Versus the Denver Nuggets, which in
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point right there, Austin.
Want to be there. They had players saying that their mind wasn't there. He had guys leave. That happened. Then he gets fired for losing to a team that was favored over him, which was the Celtics last year.
Regardless of the favorite over him, though, you said James Harden and you had Joel Embiid. You know, you still got to find a way to make that work, regardless of who's favored, who's not, because the Boston Celtics were favored by ESPN. Almost 80% of the ESPN media said that the Boston Celtics were going to beat the Golden State Warriors and lost in 6, by the way. So I don't think the favorites really matters, but I hear you.
Always responsible. It's just it's strange coming from JJ. And I have some love for JJ. You're my dookie. You know that. You're my bro. I love you. It's just your best years were with the Clippers. I don't think he saved your career. I appreciate you, Pat.
He said your best years when you played for the Clippers. Now, this is where Marcellus, sell on there, Marcellus Perry presents the stats for that ass. His last year, he played 50 games in Orlando before he got traded to Milwaukee. Within those 50 games in Orlando, I have the stats right here in hand. In 2012 and 2013, 50 games, he averaged 15 points per game, 4 assists, 2 rebounds on 39% from the 3, right? Okay. Then he gets traded to Milwaukee. Woo! Let me scoot this over for you guys here. All right. And in 28 games in Milwaukee, he averaged 12 points a game, 3 assists, 2 rebounds on 32% from 3, which is arguably might have been his worst year in this stretch of games or in this stretch of seasons that I'm about to bring up. Then the infamous joining of the Los Angeles Clippers happened where he played for Doc Rivers. So by what Austin Rivers is saying, by what Pat Bev is saying, this was arguably JJ Redick's best years. Okay. 2013-2014, he averaged 15 points a game, 2 and 2. On 40% from the 3. 2014-15, he averaged 16 points a game, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 44% from 3. 2015-2016, these are all in the Doc Rivers, by the way. He averaged 16 points a game, 1 assist, 2 rebounds on 47% from 3. Wow, that's a sniper. In 2016, 2017, he averaged 15 points a game, 1 assist, and 2 rebounds on 43% from the three-point line. That was his last year in Los Angeles, by the way, right? Okay. Going to Philly, right? 2017, 2018, averaged 17 points a game, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds on 42% from the three-point line in his first year in Philadelphia. Now, if you go by the statistics outside of the three-point percentage, that year beats out any year in Los Angeles. 17 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds is better than any single Clippers year statistically per average. 2018-2019 with the Philadelphia 76ers, he averaged 18 points a game, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds, which is better than any year prior to that. That was statistically J.J. Redick's best year under Brett Brown, not Doc Rivers, right? He did shoot 40% from 3, so that's one of his worst shooting years, but 40% from 3 is still a high clip. So, for some stats for that A, J.J. Redick had a great 4 years with the Los Angeles Clippers. I will say that. I'm not saying that he didn't have a good career under Doc Rivers, but to say that his best years was in L.A. statistically is a lie. Then in 2019 and 2020, his last year where he was somewhat really, where he was still J.J. Redick. In 2019-2020, he played for the New Orleans Pelicans. He averaged 15 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 45% from the three-point line. Okay? That year, in 2019-2020, matches up with his third best year with Los Angeles Clippers. And his greatest year was 18 points a game in 2018 with the Philadelphia 76ers. So we got to stop with the lies. We got to have the facts and stats for that ad. And I didn't bring up the Philadelphia picture, which I should have brought up. My bad. Philadelphia here. And yeah. So, and then also the New Orleans Pelican. Yep. That's him in there right there. I meant to bring those pictures up while I was talking about them, but I got a little ahead of myself because I got excited about the topic at hand. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think in terms of what Pat Bev had said and what Austin Rivers have said. Austin Rivers has a point saying his best years were with the Los Angeles Clippers up to that point until he played for Philadelphia. And statistically, it was that year. Now, moving forward in the NBA as well, speaking of Doc Rivers, he had this to say about the Milwaukee Bucks firing Adrian Griffin.
To be honest, I told our owners when they called, I said, I think I don't understand why you're doing this, And they said, one of the things they said was, well, it doesn't matter. We've done it now, and we want you. And so that was a tough one. That's where you had the hesitation. Personally,
So if Doc Rivers is saying, I don't know why you guys are firing the guy, and they already fired the guy, and they hire you, does that add up? I'm just confused here. So the Bucks call you and you say, hey man, I don't know why you guys, you guys shouldn't fire the guy. It doesn't make sense to me. And they tell you, well, we've done it and we want you. That's very interesting. Knowing that he was mentoring the guy. I don't know. Maybe Doc Rivers is innocent in all of this, and it's all the Milwaukee Bucks' fault in terms of how they went about this coaching change and all that. But a part of me is like, dang, maybe Doc was behind it. But then a part of me is actually like, maybe Doc honestly didn't want to become the coach at first until he got presented the offer. Absolutely. I think he's better at coaching than he was commentating on ESPN. I think coaching is really what he's good at in terms of between the two. Like if he had to pick between the two, commentating and coaching, I think coaching would better suit what he does. But yeah, a lot's going on in the NBA right now. It's only going to get better. The season kicks back off in part 2 on Thursday, which you guys are seeing this. It might be either tomorrow or in 2 days. But I'm excited. I can't wait for the second half of the season only because of one thing only, man. You see it. Well, Bear, hello. Well, you see it. My dog, for one. What's up, boy? Nosy. Thank you. Sit. Good boy, Nosy. Good boy. And also that King jersey behind me, which means we're going to be lighting the beam a lot in the second half of the season. Sayonara. I'll catch you. We out this thing. What's up, boy? What's up, boy? What's up, boy? Hi. Hello. Say hi. Say hi. Good boy.